hostages held in the Gaza Strip has been reached. The announcement came a day after Netanyahu's office said there were last-minute snags in talks to free hostages in return for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of Palestinian prisoners. Netanyahu said he will convene his security cabinet Friday and then the government to approve the ceasefire agreement. Despite the delay, senior U.S. officials remain optimistic. Secretary of State Antony Blinken expressed confidence that the ceasefire would still go into effect on Sunday as initially planned. A Pakistani court on Friday convicted former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife Bushra Bibi in a landmark graft case, sentencing Khan to 14 years in prison. Now, Khan has been held in custody since August 2023, charged with around 200 cases, but his party claims the latest conviction was being used to pressure him into silence. The anti-graft court convened in the jail near the capital, Islamabad, where Khan is being held, and convicted him along with his wife over a welfare foundation they established together called the Al-Qadir Trust. Khan has been fined 1 million Pakistani rupees or $3,500 US, while Bushra Bibi was fined half that amount. South Korean investigators plan to request a court extension for President Yoon Suk-yeol's detention as his current arrest term ends Friday. Yoon, the first sitting South Korean president to be arrested, is being held at the Seoul Detention Center amid a probe into whether he committed insurrection by imposing martial law last December or not. Authorities from the anti-corruption agency aim to secure a detention warrant for up to 20 additional days. Earlier in the week, a Seoul court rejected Yoon's challenge against his arrest. The World Bank has estimated that the Indian economy will grow at 6.5% this year, compared to 6.6% projected earlier, and will see a mild pickup in pace to 6.7% in next year, remaining the world's fastest growing major economy. Global growth is projected at 2.7% for 2025 and 26. This, while growth in India is expected to decelerate from 8.2% last year. Services and farm sector expansion have been steady, with rural demand holding up. The global economic prospects have put the spotlight on developing countries, which are expected to close the first quarter of the current century with the weakest long-term growth outlook since 2000. According to a Reuters report, 7 Indian private companies have been selected for a first-of-its-kind Indo-US space and defense collaboration program. Firms like Kaleido, Etherealex, and Adya Space will work with US agencies, including the Defense Innovation Unit, to develop satellite observation and advanced defense technologies. Now, this partnership grants Indian firms access to the $1.5 billion US defense market annually, a major boost for India's private space sector and bilateral ties. Meanwhile, China sent a Pakistani satellite into space on Friday from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in northwest China. The satellite, named PRSCEO-1, was launched at 12:07 p.m. Beijing time by a Long March 2D carrier rocket and entered its planned orbit successfully. The rocket also carried 2 other satellites, namely Tianlu-1 and the Lantern-1. This launch marked the 556th flight mission involving the Long March carrier rocket series. The US is set to launch an updated H-1B visa program today. The new rules announced by the Department of Homeland Security aim to boost fairness, transparency, and efficiency in hiring global talent. They also address growing concerns about fraud from employers and employees. According to reports, US President Joe Biden won't enforce a ban on the social media app TikTok that is set to take effect a day before he leaves office on Monday, leaving its fate in the hands of President-elect Donald Trump. The officials said the outgoing administration was leaving the implementation of the law and the potential enforcement of the ban to Trump. Russia claimed on Thursday that its forces targeted several Ukrainian military airports and key infrastructure over the past 24 hours, while Ukraine reported attacking a Russian fuel depot, triggering a large fire. The Russian Defense Ministry said in a briefing on Thursday that its forces had struck multiple Ukrainian military airports, drone production facilities, and storage warehouses in the past day. Meanwhile, on the same day, the General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported 89 combat encounters on the front lines as of Thursday afternoon. It said that Ukrainian forces had successfully repelled 8 Russian offensives in the Kirkuk region. Just days before President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration as the US president, Russia and Iran are set to sign a landmark strategic partnership pact in Moscow, a move that will further solidify the growing alliance between two of the West's key adversaries. This deal marks a significant deepening of ties that have strengthened dramatically since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and it's fueling concerns that the West's long-held fears about this alliance are now becoming a reality. Top UN officials, including Aid Chief Tom Fletcher, met Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kiev on Thursday to discuss strengthening of humanitarian support for Ukraine. Now, this comes as the UN launches a humanitarian appeal for $3.32 billion to support more than 8 million people affected by the war with Russia. Take a listen.
It's a sign of our solidarity as the whole UN family. And I really want to start there. We've been with you throughout this war, and we're here to demonstrate that solidarity. Actually, in the end, our announcement today, our target is 3.3 billion altogether, because we have 2 campaigns. 2.6, so we in combination it will be 3.
In a bold show of solidarity, UK PM Keir Starmer has vowed to put Ukraine in the strongest possible position. Now, this follows his visit to Kiev, where he signed a historic 100-year agreement with the war-torn nation. The Labour leader's trip, however, was underscored by the stark realities of the ongoing war, as loud blasts and air raid sirens interrupted proceedings after a reported Russian drone attack was intercepted by Ukraine's defense systems. Starmer's visit underscores his commitment to bolstering Ukraine's fight for sovereignty and independence, marking a significant step in international support as the war with Russia rages on.
I completely agree, and it's so important that we must and we will stand with Ukraine for as long as is possible. That's why I'm here.
The UK government has announced a rapid national review of the extent of sexual exploitation of children by Pakistani grooming gangs and several new local inquiries into cases of abuse. The issue was at the center of a political firestorm earlier this month when a war of words broke out between US tech billionaire Elon Musk and Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The row relates to sex offences going back decades against British girls and Hindu girls and Sikh girls, in fact, by men of mostly South Asian, to be very precise, Pakistani origin in various North English towns. On to Canada now. Mark Carney, the globally influential central banker and staunch advocate for green investment, has officially launched his campaign to lead Canada's Liberal Party and become the country's next Prime Minister, in fact. Now, the 59-year-old former Bank of England governor and Bank of Canada head made the announcement on Thursday in Alberta, positioning himself as the leader Canada needs in times of profound change. "I'm here to ask for your support," Carney declared, emphasizing his commitment to earning the trust of the Canadian people. He also acknowledged the country is facing significant challenges, however, expressed confidence in his ability to tackle them head-on.
"I'm here to ask for your support. I'm here to earn your trust, to lead that fight. I'm back home in Edmonton to declare my candidacy for leader of the Liberal Party and Prime Minister of Canada."
French President Emmanuel Macron arrived in Beirut on Friday morning. He was received at the airport by Lebanese caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati and other dignitaries. Macron will meet the newly elected Lebanese President Joseph Aoun and other officials during the visit. It comes as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Friday a deal to return hostages held in the Gaza Strip has been reached. After his office said, in fact, earlier, there were last-minute snags in finalizing a ceasefire that would pause 15 months of ongoing war. Meanwhile, Lebanon's parliament voted to elect Army Commander Joseph Aoun as the head of the state a week earlier, filling a more than 2-year-long presidential vacuum in the country. A stick-wielding man has killed 2 people and injured 2 others in Miami in what the law enforcement officials call, and I quote, an unprovoked attack on 4 homeless people. The suspect was taken into custody following the beatings, which police say were carried out early Thursday. A 911 call placed just after 6 a.m. Thursday local time alerted officials to what they say was a 30-year-old man armed with a stick beating people living on the streets of Miami. Officials have not yet released the suspect's name while they continue investigating, saying he has no local criminal history but has had some minor run-ins with the police in New York. Take a listen, Miami PD Chief Manny Morales on the incident.
It's a horrible incident. The officers on the scene and the Miami Police Department is appalled at this display of unprovoked violence. And we will make sure that our investigators pay close attention so we can hold this individual accountable to the fullest extent of the law.
On to some disturbing news now. Global carbon dioxide levels surged faster in 2024 than ever before, leaving key climate goals in jeopardy. Concentrations of CO2 are now over 50% higher rather than pre-industrial levels, driven by record fossil fuel emissions and weakened absorption by nature due to droughts and wildfires. Scientists warn this rapid rise is incompatible with limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. The Met Office says urgent action is needed as 2024 became the hottest year on record with devastating heat waves in regions like India. Officials said Thursday that the hillside in Los Angeles area have become fragile due to the weather events that affected Southern California this week. A small landslide in Pacific Palisades this week sent debris into the streets. Aerial footage near Pacific Palisades shows debris, mud, and a damaged home on a hillside close to the beach caused by a landslide. Listen in.
The area that you're talking about, the Palisades, is suffering right now. What you'll see on the slopes, you'll see what we call dry ravel, which is these slopes that are oversteepened have been really dried out, and you will see this raveling of the slopes and what looks like a landslide, and it is a landslide, debris into the streets and into properties. Some of this material is supporting some of the structures that have remained behind.
It's time we step into a short break. I'll see you on the other side.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever.
At Direct Line, we know that for multi-property landlords, sometimes the tiniest of things can turn into way bigger problems. From niggly contract issues to keeping up with ever-changing legislation. That's why Direct Line's landlord insurance offers a 24/7 legal helpline as standard. Because a call with someone could help to make the hairiest of problems feel that little bit smoother. Search Direct Line Landlord Insurance. We're on it.
No child should suffer the torture of trachoma. But so many are in pain right now. Nananga's lashes have turned inwards. They rip and tear away at his eyes. Pomelo's sight could be gone forever. He's just 3 years old. Kofanga screams for his mother. His eyes are so infected that he can't even see her. For so many children in the world's poorest countries, trachoma is torture. It's a painful infection often spread by flies, and it's destroying children's eyesight. But it could be stopped if you help today. By calling 0800 038 4926 and giving £1 a week to Sightsavers, you can help make sure children get the treatment they desperately need. You'll help us bring them the medicines and the care that can treat infections. And that means you'll be helping to save children from the torture of trachoma and a life of blindness. Please help us reach them. Call 0800 038 4926. Text C13 to 82727 or go online and give just £1 a week now. Because we need you to help save the sight of children like Nananga. We need you to help save them from the torture of trachoma.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruption.
Welcome back. You're watching the World Report on NDTV. China's economy grew 5% in 2024, meeting government targets and exceeding analyst expectations. Fourth quarter growth hit 5.4%, the fastest, in fact, since mid-2023, driven by stimulus measures and steady exports. However, threats loom as US President-elect Donald Trump prepares to reimpose tariffs, raising fears of a new trade war. Analysts warn weak domestic demand could hurt recovery prospects this year. Despite challenges, China remains the world's second largest economy.
国民经济运行总体平稳，稳中有进，高质量发展取得新进展。特别是及时部署出台一揽子增量政策，推动社会信心有效提振，经济明显回升，经济社会主要发展目标任务顺利完成。
US stocks edged lower on Thursday after a strong rally the day before. The Dow dipped 0.16% and the S&P 500 by 0.21%, and the Nasdaq in fact by 0.89%, as investors digested retail sales and jobless claims data. Earnings report showed mixed results. Morgan Stanley posted higher profits, while United Health missed sales estimates. A cooling inflation rate provided optimism about slower Fed rate cuts this year. Despite the day's losses, analysts say the labor market and consumer spending remain solid. Chinese social media app Red Note gained nearly 3 million US users in a single day as quote-unquote TikTok refugees flocked to the platform amid a looming TikTok ban. According to analytics firms SimilarWeb, Red Note's US daily active users surged to 3.5 million on Monday, up from just 700,000 the day before. The influx reflects growing concerns among TikTok's 170 million American users about the app's potential shutdown due to national security concerns. Billionaire Frank McCourt, who is leading a consortium to buy TikTok's US operations, has indicated he is open to retaining existing investors, including TikTok's founder, in any deal struck. McCourt confirmed his group's $20 billion bid for the app, excluding its algorithm. The bid does not depend on US investment firms like General Atlantic or Sequoia Capital, which currently hold stakes in ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent company. A SpaceX Starship rocket exploded just minutes before launching from Texas on Thursday, marking another setback for Elon Musk's flagship space program. The prototype carrying mock satellites suffered an upper stage anomaly, losing communication 8 minutes after liftoff. Airlines over the Gulf of Mexico were forced, in fact, to alter course due to falling debris. Despite the failure, the Super Heavy booster successfully returned to the launch pad, and SpaceX vows to investigate and continue, its development efforts. Boeing has restarted testing for its 777X jet on Thursday, the first flight since grounding the fleet in August over engine mount failures. The 777X is a successor to Boeing's commercially successful 777 series and was originally slated for delivery back in 2020. Delays have pushed the first delivery to 2026, with a smaller 777-8 and a freighter version to follow. The test flight marks a critical step for Boeing as it works to meet certification and delivery targets. Microsoft has announced the rollout of its Copilot AI features to individual consumers as part of its Microsoft 365 suite. Customers will now have the option to choose subscription plans with or without Copilot, though plans with AI features will cost $3 more in the US. Copilot will assist users across Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, OneNote, and Designer, with usage capped by monthly credits. Now, the move follows the launch of Copilot AI for businesses earlier this week. Meanwhile, Meta's upcoming Community Notes feature will reportedly not apply to paid advertisements. Similar to a tool on Elon Musk's X platform, the feature will be enabled only for organic content. Reports suggest that a brand and influencer post may also be excluded when the program launches later this year. While details remain subject to change and speculation, Meta aims to increase transparency on its platforms without impacting ad revenue streams. World number one Aryna Sabalenka has won a hard-fought straight sets victory over Denmark's Clara Tauson on Friday to advance to the fourth round of the Australian Open. The two-time defending champion Sabalenka held off Tauson 7-6, 5-all and 6-4 to reach the weekend in Melbourne. It was Sabalenka's 8th match victory in a row to start the season after winning the Brisbane International 10 days ago, and her 17th, in fact, win in a row at Melbourne Park. The Genesis Invitational, hosted by Tiger Woods, is moving to a new venue due to the devastating wildfires in Los Angeles. The PGA Tour announced that the February event, benefiting Woods' TGR Foundation, will no longer take place at the Riviera Country Club in Pacific Palisades. While the replacement venue remains undecided, the PGA Tour is exploring ways, in fact, to support wildfire relief operations in Los Angeles. The tournament remains a PGA Tour signature event with a whopping $20 million purse. Yannick Sinner has revealed that his coach, Darren Cahill, will retire at the end of this season. Cahill joined Sinner's team in 2022 and has been instrumental in the Italian player's rise to world number one. This includes 2 Grand Slam titles as well. Sinner expressed gratitude for Cahill's mentorship, calling him a quote-unquote amazing coach and a person. Cahill has previously coached tennis greats like Andrea Agassi and Simona Halep. Sinner, who is also coached by Simone Vagnozzi, aims to make Cahill's final season a rather memorable one. David Lynch, the legendary filmmaker, celebrated for his uniquely dark vision in movies such as The Blue Velvet and The Mulholland Drive, and the TV series Twin Peaks, has died just days before his 79th birthday. His family announced the death in a Facebook post on Thursday. The cause of death and location was not immediately available, but Lynch had been public about his emphysema. It ends with Us actor and director Justin Baldoni has sued his co-star Blake Lively and her husband, Deadpool actor Ryan Reynolds, for defamation. Baldoni's suit seeks at least $400 million for damages that include lost future income. The lawsuit, filed in federal court in New York on Thursday, is the latest step in the legal fallout, in fact, from the dark romantic drama. It comes about 2 weeks after Lively sued Baldoni and several others tied to the romantic drama on Tuesday, alleging harassment and a coordinated campaign to attack her reputation for coming forward about her treatment on set. The lawsuit came the same day that Baldoni sued New York Times for libel, alleging the paper worked with Lively to smear him. Sting, Billie Eilish, Lady Gaga and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, in fact, are among the performers slated to take the stage at Fire Aid, a benefit concert for Los Angeles area wildfire relief. Announced last week, Fire Aid was originally scheduled to take place at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California. It will now take place in two venues, the Intuit Dome and the adjacent Kia Forum on the 30th of January. Well, that's all we have for you today. Take care and have a wonderful weekend.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks,
Now we move on to the next category, which is the Youth Icon of the Year. And for this, मैं एक बार फिर से request करूँगी आशा पारेख जी का स्टेज पर आने के लिए, और साथ ही इनवाइट करेंगे मयंक अग्रवाल जी को, CEO Gallant Group of Industries, to join us on stage for this next category of awards.
Ananya Pandey.
Congratulations, Ananya. And Ananya Pandey, actor, is getting this award for her advocacy work on combating cyberbullying, growing achievements in the film industry, and strong influence on social media. And that's what makes Ananya Pandey NDTV Youth Icon of the Year 2024. She represents a blend of modern values, relatability, and a commitment to meaningful causes, which are essential qualities for inspiring today's youth.
Congratulations, very many
Thank
congratulations.
you. Thank you.
And Ananya, there are just a few questions for
Yes.
you. You've, diverse characters, and you've made a shift from big screen to OTT. Big superstars have done their shift. What is your opinion on that, and what's your next move?
Firstly, I just want to thank NDTV for this award. It's truly very, very humbling, and to get it from Asha Parekh ji, I'm such a big fan of your work, so this is a pinch me moment for sure. I don't believe any screen is too big or small. It's a screen at the end of the day, and the world is developing so fast. There's so many changes that are being made, so I think we're all just keeping up with the times.
Ananya, the fact is that 2024, this year has been phenomenal for you. One success after another. Kahan Kho Gaye Hum, Call Me Bae, CTRL. How does it feel to have multiple successes in one single year?
It's really a dream come true. I really think this year for me, more than ever, I felt very connected to my fans with Kho Gaye Hum Kahan and Call Me Bae and Control. I've done movies in the past, but this is the first time that I felt true love from the audience. And, all these films and shows have been conversation starters. People have not just come up to me and said that they like my work, but how my work has kind of made them feel seen or represented on screen. And for an actor, I think that's a huge victory for me.
So Asha ji is here on stage, and sometimes back मैंने आपसे ये पूछा था कि आज के दौर में स्टारडम कैसे हैंडल करना है, तो अनन्या आपके साथ हैं जो स्टारडम को एक अलग तरीके से हैंडल कर रही हैं. कुछ एडवाइस अनन्या के लिए, या अनन्या आपको आशा जी से कुछ पूछना है?
जी, आप प्लीज बताइए, आप मुझे एडवाइस दीजिए प्लीज.
क्या बताऊं?
कुछ भी, आप कुछ भी बताइए, मैं ले लूंगी.
Sincerity, hard work takes you in a long way. That's what I.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
अगर मुझे इस महाकुंभ का वर्णन एक वाक्य में करना हो तो मैं कहूंगा ये एकता का ऐसा महायज्ञ होगा जिसकी चर्चा पूरी दुनिया में होगी।
संग संग चले हैं ढोल मंजीरे संग और चंग गंग नगरी बम 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 लहरी।
अजर हो गया है, अमर हो गया है, शहर तंबुओं का शहर हो गया है, महाकुंभ की आस्थाओं में घूम।
ये जनता के बड़े सौभाग्य की बात है।
आस्थाओं में डूबा।
ये एकता का प्रतीक है।
The largest gathering of pilgrims and devotees on earth has begun. Lakhs of seers and Naga sadhus from across the world have assembled in the historic city of Prayagraj to celebrate the biggest Mahakumbh in history. It is a global congregation of seers at Mahakumbh this time. Naga sadhu Anjana Giri is from Italy. She has come to Mahakumbh with thousands of seers of Atal Akhada, one of the most ancient akhadas.
What is the significance of Mahakumbh for you?
It's a big festival.
Big festival?
Yeah.
You are from which country?
Italy.
इटली से आए हो
जी।
अच्छा, तो ये पहला महाकुंभ है आपका?
हाँ, पहले महाकुंभ।
पहला महाकुंभ। रिलीजियस सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है इसका आपके लिए? महाकुंभ आपके लिए?
ये तो 3 नदी का जॉइंट है, मतलब all together we can make a good things.
सिरों को नहीं भाव सागर को देखो, धारा पावनी पीयूष गागर को देखो।
Around 40 crore pilgrims are expected to take part in history's biggest Mahakumbh in the historic city of Prayagraj. As millions of pilgrims congregate from more than 50 countries to take a holy dip at Sangam, they're also witnessing the most green and sustainable Mahakumbh ever organized. From Prayagraj city to Mahakumbh Mela ground, the walls are covered with colorful messages of sustainability and the importance of no plastic use.
One-time use plastic,
one-time use plastic
एवं पॉलीथीन का प्रयोग नहीं करेंगे।
A special campaign has been initiated to promote the idea of sustainability and sensitize common citizens and visiting pilgrims.
कितना शौचालय इस बार? कितना शौचालय का निर्माण?
1.5 लाख शौचालय बनाए गए हैं, जो पिछली बार की अपेक्षा लगभग 1.5 गुना है।
1.5 गुना ज्यादा है। और सभी घाटों पे भी आपने इंतजाम किया है?
इंतजाम किया हुआ।
50 घाट हैं।
जी हाँ जी।
Lakhs of trees have been planted in Prayagraj to make it a green city. In this AI-powered digital control room, officials are monitoring the implementation of UP government's mega cleanliness drive across Prayagraj city and the Mahakumbh Mela ground.
Absolutely. It will be very green. We're not only doing a seminar or a conference on that, but we are ensuring that plantations, no use of plastic, use of materials, which are very friendly that way, restricted use of electricity, and in the matters of, using for the street lights, the banned use of plastics of that micron size will absolutely not be permitted. And we've seized a large number of such materials already, but we are encouraging and making people aware on how to use these, alternate materials in lieu of plastic.
The message of sustainability is visible everywhere, from colorful posters painted on city walls to the Mahakumbh Mela ground, where thousands of temporary housing tents have been constructed with natural recyclable materials. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath personally came to inaugurate this Kumbh village.
महाकुंभ के आयोजन के साथ
अब एक नया उत्तर प्रदेश लोगों को दिखेगा जो विरासत और विकास के साथ जुड़ते हुए पूरी दुनिया को अपनी ओर आकर्षित करेगा और उस आकर्षण का केंद्र बिंदु देश के अंदर उत्तर प्रदेश, दुनिया के अंदर भारत और भारत के अंदर उत्तर प्रदेश बनने जा रहा है। उसके लिए हम सबको अपने आप को तैयार करना है।
A sustainable tent city with specially constructed 200 recyclable green tents. This has been designated a no plastic zone.
200 tents की प्रॉपर्टी बनाई है और ये 6 एकड़ लैंड में है ऑन द बैंक्स ऑफ द रिवर गंगा और इसमें करीब 400 लोग एक दिन में हम लोग केटर कर सकते हैं। वी वांट टू ब्रिंग ग्रीन। हमने प्लास्टिक कहीं भी यूज़ नहीं किया है। वी हैव ग्लास बॉटल्स, वी हैव ये हमारे जो डिस्पेंसर्स भी हैं वो हम नॉर्मल प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम डिस्पेंसर सिस्टम रख रहे हैं।
तो एक नया एक्सपेरिमेंट है। दिस इज़ अ टेंट जो कि ग्रीन है और इसमें प्लास्टिक का इस्तेमाल नहीं किया आपने। हाँ,
एवरीथिंग इज आइदर वुडन।
हाँ, ओके। और ये किस कैटेगरी का रूम है?
सर ये प्रीमियम कैटेगरी है। दिस इज अ टॉप कैटेगरी रूम्स एंड इसमें अगर आप देखोगे वी हैव अ स्मॉल बेड, सिटिंग एरिया, अ लगेज एरिया। जी, तो हम लोग इसमें ये
2 लोगों के लिए है।
2 लोगों के लिए है जी।
और ये लग्जरी सेगमेंट वाला टेंट?
जी सर।
तो इसका कितना फेयर रखा आपने?
अराउंड 35,000 रुपीज अ नाइट।
35,000।
सो दीज आर ऑल वाटरप्रूफ कैनवस।
अच्छा, वाटरप्रूफ कैनवस। जी, मतलब अगर बारिश भी होती है तो
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी। वी आर नॉट यूजिंग वो छोटी वाली प्लास्टिक बॉटल्स जो होटल में होती हैं। वी आर ऑल डूइंग डिस्पेंसर्स एंड ग्लास बॉटल्स एंड एवरीथिंग। तो
इसे कंप्लीटली ग्रीन।
यस।
Sustainability is a major theme of Mahakumbh 2025, with a focus also on promoting renewable energy sources. In a 400 crore ambitious mega electricity plan, the thrust is on promoting solar lighting systems. Thousands of hybrid solar bulbs have been installed in the 17-kilometer long and 14-kilometer wide Mahakumbh Mela ground.
हम लोग 2000 सोलर हाइब्रिड लाइट लगा रहे हैं। बेसिकली हाइब्रिड लाइट की परिकल्पना हम लोगों ने 1 साल पहले की थी और इसको माघ मेले में ट्रायल भी किया था। इसका फ़ायदा ये रहता है कि मेला चूंकि जब होता है तो उस समय फॉगी रहता है तो सोलर की चार्जिंग नहीं हो पाती, इसलिए हम लोग हाइब्रिड पे गए। हाइब्रिड के कारण वो बिजली से भी चार्ज होता है और जब धूप रहती है तो सोलर से भी चार्ज होता है। ये लाइट स्वतः शाम होते ही अपने आप ऑन हो जाती है।
Guinness Book of World Record holder and international moustache dancer Rajendra Tiwari Dukanji is the brand ambassador of Swachhata during Mahakumbh. He's roaming around the Mahakumbh Mela ground wearing colorful placards with one message: use cotton bags in place of plastic bags.
मैं ज़्यादातर पूरे शहर में हर जगह प्रोग्राम रैली में घूम कर लोगों को जागरूक करता हूं। संतों महात्माओं कल्पवासियों से निवेदन कर रहे हैं कि इस बार का महाकुंभ पॉलीथीन मुक्त रहेगा। इसलिए आप सभी से निवेदन है कि आप मिट्टी के कुल्हड़ और ग्लास और कागज के कप ग्लास का प्रयोग करें।
To make Mahakumbh 2025 a plastic-free and sustainable event, lakhs of plates and bags from across the country are being distributed to the devotees under the Ek Thali Ek Bag campaign. 9 ghats have been reconstructed to make them more sustainable and environment-friendly. Mahakumbh brand ambassador Dukanji says pilgrims should not throw flowers and other puja material in the river.
माँ गंगा में माला फूल हवन सामग्री न डालें, लेकिन जब मैं ये शब्द कहता हूँ तो यहाँ की जितनी सम्मानित नागरिक हैं वो हमसे ये कहते हैं कि माँ गंगा में माला फूल डालने से गंदगी नहीं होती है। हमने कहा ये बात सही है। गेंदा का फूल और गुलाब का फूल इतने केमिकल के माध्यम से वो बड़े हो रहे हैं और जब वो फूल माला हम गंगा जी में डालते हैं, माँ गंगा चिल्ला के कह रही हैं, मेरे प्यारे भक्तों, अगर इसी तरह आप हमारे पर प्रदूषण करते रहेंगे तो मैं एक दिन इस धरती से और प्रयागराज की पावन धरती से चली जाऊंगी।
Clearly, Mahakumbh 2025 is all set to be the most eco-friendly, sustainable and green Mahakumbh ever, a truly sustainable experience for millions of pilgrims. With Himanshu Shekhar and Sachin Gupta in Prayagraj, Anasya Mathur for NDTV.
This EE winter sale, get the amazing Google Pixel 9 Pro and save a huge £623. Plus, get unlimited data. Then kickstart your year with Gemini Live, the ultimate assistant in your pocket. From practicing interview questions to planning trips away. Just go live to talk things out with Gemini. All on the UK's best network. No wonder tech lovers choose EE. Offer ends 30th of January.
I'll fix him, love. Poor pet. Just shows you never know what's going to happen. Which reminds me, I need to protect the life we've built. That's why I'm looking into Smart Family Life Insurance. Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
OK. You can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000, depending on your age. If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. And it could help my husband with the mortgage.
Just like families, not all life insurance is the same. That's why we offer the Smart Family Guarantee.
That's good to know.
You'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cash back on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you'll also get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 977 5753 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
You could save money on your energy, broadband and mobile bills and feel more protected when you switch to a better deal. Switch and save now at uswitch.com.
With retirement round the corner, I want to spend more time with my family and less time worrying about the numbers. Which reminds me.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote.
No problem. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000.
And that money could help with funeral costs or even as a gift for the grandkids. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
You got them all right. That's amazing.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team on 0800 977 5808 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
Don't you have watchdog lock? No! What's that? Don't be a victim, yeah. Get watchdogs, 3-star solid secure diamond locks. They are anti-pick, anti-snap, anti-bar. बोले तो fully anti-chore. जब तक जोड़ेंगे नहीं, तब तक छोड़ेंगे.
JP Nadda there announcing BJP's promises to the voters here in the national capital and of course beating Aam Aadmi Party to its own game, making promises whether it's electricity or to particularly wooing the woman voter.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
No child should suffer the torture of trachoma. But so many are in pain right now. Nananga's lashes have turned inwards. They rip and tear away at his eyes. Pamelo's sight could be gone forever. He's just 3 years old. Kofanga screams for his mother. His eyes are so infected that he can't even see her. For so many children in the world's poorest countries, trachoma is torture. It's a painful infection often spread by flies, and it's destroying children's eyesight. But it could be stopped if you help today. By calling 0800 021 3925 and giving £2 a month to Sightsavers, you can help make sure children get the treatment they desperately need. You'll help us bring them the medicines and the care that can treat infections. And that means you'll be helping to save children from the torture of trachoma and a life of blindness. Please help us reach them. Call 0800 021 3925, text C7 to 82727, or go online and give just £2 a month now. Because we need you to help save the sight of children like Nananga. We need you to help save them from the torture of trachoma.
I recommend more and more of you come to realizing Atma within ourselves and who we truly are.
Kumbh is for all of us who come here to receive an upliftment of consciousness. Just amazed. My expectation, it's beyond my expectation and what I could have imagined.
The biggest congregation of pilgrims and devotees in human history at Mahakumbh 2025 is making headlines across the globe. As thousands of Indian and foreign pilgrims arrive from more than 50 countries, Mahakumbh has emerged as a global platform to showcase India's cultural and spiritual identity on the global stage. The idea of a new India, the rising India, the vision of a Viksit Bharat is visible everywhere at the Mahakumbh ground. While inaugurating development projects for Mahakumbh 2025, Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlighted that Mahakumbh would take the spiritual and cultural identity of the nation to new heights, arguing that the Mahayagya of unity would be discussed around the world.
हर रोज लाखों श्रद्धालुओं के स्वागत और सेवा की तैयारी लगातार 45 दिनों तक चलने वाला महायज्ञ एक नया नगर बसाने का महाअभियान प्रयागराज की इस धरती पर एक नया इतिहास रचा जा रहा है.
From a young skydiver in Prayagraj, Anamika Sharma, jumping from 13,000 feet in Bangkok with a Mahakumbh flag, to the Indian missions abroad popularizing the idea of a global Mahakumbh. It has become a manifestation of India's soft power on the global stage, a tool of cultural diplomacy to showcase India's ancient cultural and civilizational roots. The list of VVIP pilgrims in Mahakumbh includes billionaire American businesswoman Laurene Powell Jobs, the wife of late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs. A disciple of the Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of Niranjani Akhada, Swami Kailashanand Giri, Laurene Powell Jobs has flown from the US to take a holy dip in Sangam during the Mahakumbh. In this mega shivir of Juna Akhada head Acharya Avadeshanand on the banks of the Ganga, an international desk has been specially set up to welcome foreign pilgrims from across the world.
इसमें विदेशों से कितने मेहमान आएंगे और कितने देशों से आएंगे?
हमारे यहाँ यूरोप से, अमेरिका, न्यूजीलैंड से, ऑस्ट्रेलिया से और मिडिल ईस्ट से भी काफ़ी आ रहे हैं. हमारे प्राय प्रवासी भारतीय जिन्हें हम NRIs कह सकते हैं, उनकी भारी संख्या है. ऐसे अभी तक तो कोई 1,500 लोगों की रजिस्ट्रेशन हो चुका है.
सिर्फ विदेश से आएंगे.
लगभग 1,500 लोगों का रजिस्ट्रेशन हो जाए.
At the Mahakumbh Mela ground in Sangam, foreign pilgrims are arriving in large numbers to take part in the historical Mahakumbh to immerse themselves in a world of spiritualism and divinity.
हम लोग क्यों आए? क्योंकि यहाँ शक्ति है, एक अमृत. वे लोग बोलते हैं कुछ अमृत है. तो क्यों एक आदमी औरत जापान, कनाडा, अमेरिका यहाँ आएंगे?
Sanskrit mantras hold so much power. They are the divinity, the Shakti in sound form. And they're a way for us to activate that within us when we chant them. The Sanskrit holds the power.
A world-class infrastructure has been readied in Prayagraj to host an expected 40 crore pilgrims at this global event, with world-class facilities created all along the 17-kilometer long and 14-kilometer wide Mahakumbh Mela ground. The Central and Uttar Pradesh governments have invested 15,000 crore rupees in constructing new highways and road overbridges or flyovers, railway infrastructure, permanent ghats and riverfront roads to provide seamless connectivity in Prayagraj to pilgrims.
This will be the first Mahakumbh in which artificial intelligence and related technologies will be used at a very large scale. I'm in the Command and Control Center of Prayagraj Nagar Nigam, and I have with me Principal Secretary Urban Development Amrit Abhijat. And I'm in fact in front of a very big digital screen.
Here you are looking at the use of AI in its best form in the operations of the municipal corporation. We are here seeing the location of stray animals through the use of AI, which is being located by cameras installed all over the city. And they are able to track the movement of these vehicles, which then creates an event on the computer center here. This event is then reported to a person who is managing the operations of whether it's a stray animal, whether it's collection of garbage, whether it's street light luminescence.
A mega 400 crore power supply infrastructure has been created to provide uninterrupted 24/7 electricity supply in the entire Mahakumbh Mela ground. An unprecedented 1,405 kilometer long low tension line and 182 kilometer long high tension line have been laid all across the Mahakumbh Mela ground. 67,000 LED lights and thousands of solar hybrid lights have been made functional, while 128 transformers have been made available especially for tube wells and akhadas.
पूरे मेले में इसकी जो प्लानिंग होती है, यहाँ पे एसटी लाइनें, एलटी लाइनें, सब स्टेशनों का निर्माण किया जाता है। ये पूरा एक अस्थायी शहर है जो लगभग 4,000 हेक्टेयर में बसा हुआ है। इस अस्थायी शहर को 24 घंटे बिजली आपूर्ति देना, इसमें तमाम कैमरे लगे हुए हैं जिनको 24 घंटे अनवरत बिजली देनी है। लगभग 4,25,000 कैंपों को हम संयोजन देंगे जो मेले में आएंगे। विभिन्न अखाड़ों के लिए हमने अलग व्यवस्था की है। हमने इस पूरे मेले क्षेत्र में जो करीब 2 महीने के अंदर ही 1405 किलोमीटर एलटी लाइनें बनाई हैं। बेसिकली एलटी केबल है, जो भी हमारे अखाड़े होते हैं या बड़ी संस्थाएं होती हैं उनको 24 घंटे कनेक्शन परिवर्तक से देने के लिए इन केबलों का इस्तेमाल होता है। इसके अलावा हमारे पास 11 kV की XLP केबल का भी इस्तेमाल किया जाता है जो कि 3x185 स्क्वायर mm की होती हैं। इन केबलों के माध्यम से हम मेले क्षेत्र में 30 पांटून पुल बनाए जाएंगे। लगभग 10 पांटून पुलों से हम इन केबलों को इंटरकनेक्ट करते हैं ताकि मेले में जो हम 7 132 kV से आपूर्ति ले रहे हैं उसके साथ साथ 14 33/11 kV सब स्टेशन से आपूर्ति ले रहे हैं।
With the global eye on the biggest ever congregation of pilgrims, the Union Ministry of Tourism has launched a special promotional campaign to promote Mahakumbh as a global tourist hub. An Incredible India pavilion has been set up in a sprawling 5,000 square foot space at the Mahakumbh to facilitate the participation of foreign tourists, scholars, members of the expat community and Indian diaspora, and showcase India as an emerging global power with deep civilizational and religious roots.
बहुत बढ़िया लगा। इस बार तो महाकुंभ में बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। इस समय तो कुंभ अभी लगा नहीं, लेकिन घूमने के लिए हम पहले चले आए, नहावन से पहले, कि हमको देखना मिल जाए।
तो कितना रेट कितना है?
50 रुपया है।
50 रुपये?
50।
एक बार कहाँ तक ले जाते हैं?
आगे ले जाएंगे, आगे से फिर नहीं ले जाए थी, बस एक राउंड।
नाम बताइए बेटा। वानी।
वानी, आपने कैमल राइड किया, कैसा?
Clearly, the history of Prayagraj is all set to change. With Himanshu Shekhar and Sachin Gupta in Prayagraj, Anasya Mathur for NDTV.
Sticking to your resolutions is hard. But at Tesco Mobile, our deals always keep their word. Get the awesome Samsung Galaxy A35 for just $20.99 a month with club card prices, saving you £234. Better still, that price is frozen for 3 years. That's a resolution you can rely on. It pays to be connected. Search Tesco Mobile. Every little helps.
If you're homeless, you're never safe.
Tonight, too many young people like Kira will be at risk, right here on our streets. But you could help a young person find safety and begin a new future by sponsoring a room at Centrepoint.
It's more than a room. You get real support and training to help you get your life back on track.
Please search Centrepoint Room online today or call 0808 281 8001 and be the turning point for a young person like Kira. Thank you.
Step into an unforgettable year with a VIP, a very important postcode. Because in People's Postcode Lottery's February draws, players in one winning postcode will each win £12,000 every month for 12 months. Fill your calendar with the things you've always dreamed of. Sign up before midnight on the 31st of January for you and your neighbours' chance to win £12,000 every month for 12 months. Is your door in the draw?
Sign up and start saving with Quidco today. Get cashback every time you shop on over 5,000 brands. It always pays to Quidco.
With retirement round the corner, I want to spend more time with my family, which reminds me.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
This baby bear is terrified. Torn from her mother's paws at a tender age. They will force her to live alone in a tiny, filthy cage, like so many bears driven mad by loneliness, rubbing their wounds raw against the bars, suffering cruelly day after day, year after year, just for people's entertainment. Four Paws found little Potap crammed into a tiny, squalid cage. He'd been there for almost 9 years, lonely and isolated. There are so many more young bears who need your help. Please call 0800 038 0496 or text BEAR5 to 70800 to give £3 a month via your mobile phone. Every month, your £3 could help us free more bears. Help give bears the veterinary care they need and help them live happy, healthy lives in the freedom of our natural sanctuaries. Please call 0800 038 0496 or text BEAR5 to 70800 to give £3 a month via your mobile phone and help Four Paws free bears from agonising torture. Please, don't leave these bears to suffer for a single day more.
Kickstart your year and hit refresh on your home with EE Broadband for just $29.99 a month and nothing to pay up front. Our ultra-reliable full fiber means you can stream endless music, go all out on gaming, and browse online for the things you love. It's all powered by BT. For broadband switchers, choose EE. Search EE Broadband.
This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
The BJP releasing its manifesto in the national capital just ahead of the elections to be held on the 5th. The BJP making big promises for women, offering 2,500 per month, and also trying to woo the pregnant women by offering 21,000 rupees. Of course, also JP Nadda saying that they will implement the Ayushman scheme, and going a step further by saying that there will be a top-up as far as the health cover is concerned of another additional 5 lakh rupees. In the Saif Ali Khan stabbing attack, new CCTV video has emerged showing the suspect seen entering the house of Saif Ali Khan. So the video that you can see is of the suspect going up the stairs, and of course earlier the visuals on your screen that we were playing for you earlier, of course on the other side is when he was leaving from the Satguru Sharan building. A health update as far as the actor is concerned. Saif Ali Khan is supposedly doing really well is what the doctors have said. They said that it was a very close call because had it been 2 millimeters more, he would have sustained an injury to his spinal cord. They have managed to fix the leak of that spinal cord. They say that he's been able to walk, but he'll have to stay in the hospital for another 2 to 3 days. It's the BJP versus the Aam Aadmi Party as far as the promises is concerned to woo the voters in the national capital. The Aam Aadmi Party is promising free bus rides now for students, saying that attacking the BJP, saying that all they really want to do is what we have done in the past 10 years, and they're saying that they can go ahead and promise what they want, but they won't win. And actor Kangana Ranaut has reacted to the protests taking place against a film emergency that released today. The SGPC has stirred. The protest has taken place outside many cinema halls in Ludhiana, Amritsar, Patiala and Bhatinda. They're not being allowed to screen the film after that protest has taken place. Now Kangana Ranaut is calling this a complete harassment of art and artists. And big trouble when it comes to Imran Khan and his wife. The former Pakistan Prime Minister has been sentenced to 14 years in a corruption case. Imran Khan has been convicted in a scam worth £190 million. And BCCI there cracking its whip on cricketers. A new code of conduct, a 10-point disciplinary guideline which limits family time while on tour and makes participation in domestic matches mandatory for players. Also, other guidelines that have been issued, which involves that no endorsement will be allowed while they are on tour. Very good afternoon. Let's just go across to JP Nadda, who is speaking on the promises that the BJP is making in order to woo the voter here in Delhi.
और साथ ही साथ अपना शीश महल बना रहे थे। ये याद रखना चाहिए दिल्ली की जनता को कि किस तरीके से ये उस समय किस में व्यस्त थे। ये लिकर स्कैम की योजना बना रहे थे। ये शीश महल के नक्शे को फाइनल शेप दे रहे थे। और इसलिए समय आ गया है कि आपके माध्यम से मैं दिल्ली की जनता से फिर निवेदन करूंगा कि जो लोग काम करने वाले हैं, जो गरीब कल्याण, आम आदमी, जो बेचारा जिसको सशक्तिकरण की आवश्यकता है, महिला सशक्तिकरण, स्वास्थ्य के क्षेत्र में सशक्तिकरण, मुख्य धारा में लाने की योजना, उन सबको ताकत देने का माध्यम कमल का निशान है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी है। और इसलिए यहां मैं ये भी आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि हमारी ये सारी योजनाएं जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की दिल्ली सरकार बनने पर हम पूरी करेंगे, ये सारी योजनाएं एनडीएमसी के क्षेत्र में भी और दिल्ली कैंट के क्षेत्र में भी लागू होंगी। दे विल बी एप्लीकेबल इन एनडीएमसी एरिया, दे विल बी एप्लीकेबल इन द दिल्ली कैंट एरिया। और इसलिए समूचे दिल्ली पर ये लागू होगी। मैं प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी को इस बात के लिए भी धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं और आपके माध्यम से दिल्ली की जनता और खास करके हमारे एम्प्लॉय वर्ग को बताना चाहता हूं कि कल ही प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने 8th पे कमीशन, 8वीं पे कमीशन को मंजूरी दे दी है। 2026 तक उसकी रिकमेंडेशन आ जाएगी। 2016 में 7th पे कमीशन लागू हुआ था, 2026 में 8वां पे कमीशन लागू हो जाएगा और इससे हमारे मुलाजिम भाइयों को बहुत बड़ी ताकत भी मिलेगी और उनका बहुत बड़ा फायदा भी होगा। इसलिए सभी वर्गों के बारे में चिंता करने का काम और उसको शब्दशः धरती पर लागू करने की मानसिकता, इच्छा शक्ति, पॉलिटिकल विल अगर किसी पार्टी में है तो वह भारतीय जनता पार्टी में है। और बतौर राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष मैं पूरी जिम्मेवारी से बोल रहा हूं कि जो कहा था वो किया है, जो नहीं कहा था वो भी किया है और आगे जो कह रहे हैं उसको हम पूरा करेंगे। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं अपने प्रथम फेज को पूरा करके आपके सामने रखता हूं।
JP Nadda there releasing the manifesto for the BJP for the upcoming Delhi elections, wooing the women voters with 2,500 rupees per month under the Mahila Smriti Yojana, going a step ahead with 21,000 for pregnant women and promising to implement the Ayushman Yojana and topping that up with additional cover of 5 lakh rupees is what the BJP is there promising. Now let's just go across to my colleague Aishwarya who's joining us. Aishwarya, we just heard the manifesto that's been released by the BJP. Is the BJP going with a tried and tested formula that has worked in other BJP ruled states, or is the aim really here to beat the Aam Aadmi Party at their own game?
Well, certainly those are big promises made by the Bharatiya Janata Party as far as Delhi Assembly polls are concerned. This is the first part of the three-part Sankalp Patra that is going to be released by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and in this first part, Bharatiya Janata Party had made it clear that they are going to implement the promises just not in the Delhi NDMC area but also in the entire Delhi as well. And in the first cabinet, if Bharatiya Janata Party comes into power, then the BJP had promised that they will be giving 2,500 rupees to every woman every month. Remember, the Congress earlier had also promised that they will be giving 2,500 rupees per month to every woman of the national capital, and Aam Aadmi Party earlier promised 2,100 rupees. So there has been now drawn comparisons between the Bharatiya Janata Party, Congress and Aam Aadmi Party as far as their promises for women is concerned. But interestingly, there are many more promises that the Bharatiya Janata Party had made. 21,000 rupees for pregnant women. There will be Ayushman Yojana that would be implemented with 50,000 top-up scheme that also Bharatiya Janata Party had promised. For Holi and Diwali, cylinders will be given free by the Bharatiya Janata Party if they comes into power. And also, this Mahila Samriddhi Yojana, which is much talking point in these elections, certainly whether this will be helpful or not. 6 nutritional kits as well is something that the Bharatiya Janata Party had promised in these elections as well. But very important and very interesting one, which we have seen in mostly the southern part of the country. Atal Canteen Yojana is something that Bharatiya Janata Party has come up with the very first time, ₹5 per plate, a full meal that will be given to all those who are living in Juggies of the national capital. Remember, Prime Minister Narendra Modi earlier had handed over the keys to the Juggies, and they have already one scheme that they had implemented, Jahan Juggi Wahi Makan, and under that provision now the Bharatiya Janata Party had went ahead and stated that they will be building up the Atal Canteen Yojana, where 5 rupees per plate will be given to all those people who will be residing in Juggies of the national capital. Now, certainly remember that statement made by Arvind Kejriwal that he will not fight elections if the Bharatiya Janata Party promises that they will not demolish the Juggies of the national capital. But certainly now going ahead with this particular plan. And remember, Amit Shah also went ahead and did a mega program with the Juggies, and Pradhans were called at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, and they interacted with Juggies as well. So that's one vote bank that Bharatiya Janata Party is also looking very closely to secure as well. So all of these promises in the first part of the Sankalp Patra that Bharatiya Janata Party had issued. 2 more parts are going to be released soon. Bharatiya Janata Party had, remember, had announced all 68 candidates till now, left 2 for their alliance partners, LJP and the JDU. Lastly, remember, it would be Prime Minister Narendra Modi who would be interacting on January 22nd to all those Delhi leaders and workers via Namo app as well, and will be giving the Vijay Mantra to how to win these elections.
Right, of course, a pension scheme has also been promised by the BJP, which includes 3,000 rupees for those above 70 and about 2,000 or 2,500 rupees that will be offered to those between the age group of 60 and 70. Thank you so much, Aishwarya, for breaking it down for us. We have breaking news coming in at the moment. And breaking news coming in regard to the attack that's taken place on Saif Ali Khan. There was a man who was quizzed by the police, but the police are saying that this is the man who's not connected to the case. They have said that there is no connection with the Saif Ali Khan attacking case. The attacker is still at large, is what the police are saying, and that the man was not connected to the case of the actor. No arrests have been made so far in the attack that took place on the actor inside his residence in his building in Bandra. So the man that was taken by the Bandra police was in connection with some other case. There was no link to the attack that took place on actor Saif Ali Khan. And my colleague Radhika joining us on the phone line. Radhika, of course, he did look very similar to the guy who was seen escaping from the Sadhguru Sharan building, but there seems to be no link amongst the two cases, and this is some other man altogether.
Yes, that's what the senior police official has confirmed to us, that this man has no connection to the Saif Ali Khan attack case. So therefore, it is back to square one as far as the Mumbai police is concerned. Of course, they are talking to multiple people. They're questioning several people in connection to the case. And this man was also being questioned in connection to the case. He did look similar to the man we saw in those CCTV visuals. But now senior officials, they're telling us that this man has no connection. Have taken place. So that's the confirmation we have so far, which means the case is still at large. They are scanning CCTV footage, technical evidence being taken, phone data being examined from the premises and from the neighborhood when the incident happened. But now, once again, Mumbai police back to square one, no trace of the accused. In the morning, of course, this man was brought into Bandra police station. We were made to believe that Saif Ali Khan attempted burglary in his residence, but looks like he has no connection to this case.
Right, Radhika, of course, the man is still at large. It's, been over 35 hours since that attack that took place inside the residence of the actor Saif Ali Khan. Saif Ali Khan was injured in multiple places, repeatedly injured by that attacker. The visuals that we have on our screen is of a man who is, not connected to that case, but there is a striking similarity as far as the looks are concerned, and which is why, initially reports were suggesting that it could have been the same man and that he was detained by the Mumbai police. However, the Mumbai police is there looking for the man. Do remember, 20 teams have been deployed. They are on the lookout for the man. Radhika, from what we've heard from the police, the last we heard was that the man was perhaps seen near the railway station of Bandra.
That's right. That was what was being told to us, that the man fled from the spot, fled from the building and went to Bandra railway station, from where he perhaps may have taken a train to the suburbs. So therefore, a team has been deployed in places like Vasai Nala Supara, which is a little far from Mumbai. So there is a team that's deployed there. There are multiple teams in the city of Mumbai, in Bandra particularly. But police officials telling us that he did go to Bandra railway station. There is information they have that he had fled from there and taken a train from, from Bandra railway station. So yes, that's the latest update we have as far as, the tracing of the accused is concerned. It's been more than a day, but no trace of this man. And Mumbai police under a lot of pressure, because this is happening in a high-profile neighborhood to a high-profile man inside his own private space. And his family is under threat. They were being threatened. They were held hostage for almost half an hour. And this man was lurking around that building for close to an hour. So this obviously has put, the Mumbai police under a lot of pressure and has left them red-faced, certainly. So now the priority is, of course, to catch the accused, which unfortunately the police have not been able to do so far.
Right. I mean, People have been questioned in connection with this, of course, as to how did he really know the ins and outs of the building, ins and outs of the residence of the actor. Do remember that they are, staying in this building, the Sadhguru Sharan building. They own 4 floors. The man managed to get inside. He managed to even reach inside the room of their younger son, Jay. And that is when the scuffle that broke out. It was a nanny who alarmed Saif Ali Khan, got Saif Ali Khan to the house, to the room of his son in order to protect his family. He got into a scuffle with the man. He did initially try to pacify the man, but in the scuffle, the man, Saif Ali Khan, sustained 6 injuries. Now, let's just get you a health update when it comes to the actor. It's the Dr. Nitin Dange, who is the chief neurosurgeon at the Lilavati Hospital, has said that he is doing excellently well. He has now been shifted to a room from the ICU. He did spend the night inside the ICU. The doctor's gone on to say there were 2 injuries, one on his hand and one on his neck, which had been, they've been treated as well, and plastic surgery has also been performed. But the major operation was, as far as his spine is concerned, just 2 millimeters away from his spine is the wound that was very, very deep. That was where a huge portion of the knife was lodged. They had to remove that portion, and they have in fact made Saif Ali Khan walk as well. They say that he's doing really well, but he'll have to spend about 2 to 3 nights in the hospital before he can finally go home, and that he's being asked not to see any visitors at least for the time being, because there could be a chance of an infection, and in order to avoid that, he is being asked to avoid any sort of visitors, but it would perhaps take at least a week before Saif Ali Khan is completely recovered. He has been asked to take a bed rest for the next 7 days.
He is doing presently very well. His parameters have improved. He is being shifted from ICU to a special room for him. Today we will be keeping visitors in check because we want him to take rest. 2 मिलीमीटर से बच गया. जहां तक नाइफ पहुंचा है उससे 2 मिलीमीटर और जाने से स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में इंजरी हो सकता था, which is he is very very fortunate. It's a very deep wound, but वो जस्ट स्पाइन कॉर्ड से थोड़ा बच गए, तो उनकी एक अच्छी वो है. और मैंने जैसा आपको बताया बहुत बोल्डली बिहेव किए हैं.
Avira joining us from outside Lilavati Hospital, where the actor is continuing to get his treatment for the injuries that he sustained during that scuffle. Avira and Sujata both joining us from outside Lilavati Hospital. Avira, over to you first. We just heard the doctor say that Saif not just bravely fought with the intruder, but he walked into the hospital, didn't ask for a stretcher, said comparing him to a lion, saying that he walked in with his injuries and all bloodied. He walked along with his 8-year-old son Taimur. Taimur was the one who accompanied his father to the hospital in that auto rickshaw.
Yes, absolutely. We don't know how come Taimur made his way to the hospital with his father, who was absolutely injured, but there was nobody else who could take him to the hospital. Taimur came into the hospital with holding his father's hand, and his father was completely drenched in blood. That's what the doctor said. He was bleeding. He had 6 major injuries, so he was completely bleeding, but the doctor said he walked into the OT. He didn't need a stretcher. He just walked in like a lion. That's what the doctor said. And they also said that right now his condition is much better and he's stable, but he needs bed rest. And like you said, visitors are not allowed because there is a chance of infection, because the injury in the spine was a deep one. But thankfully the knife did not touch the spinal cord, and just by 2 mm it got saved, and there's no risk of paralysis at all, and he's absolutely fine. They also made him walk today, which is a great thing. We have seen the family going in the morning. Soha Ali Khan, his sister, was the first one to visit him, and she left, and after that his mother, his wife, Kunal Khemu, all of them walked in, and they're still there in the hospital with him right now.
Right, just the immediate family that has visited the actor since yesterday and this morning. Of course, visitors aren't allowed are the instructions that the doctors are giving out. Sujata joining us as well. Sujata, it was quite a close call, and from a real life to a real life hero there, Saif Ali Khan.
Well, that's true, and also just like the doctor said, and also Abira just mentioned that Saif Ali Khan walked in like a lion, and that too with his 8-year-old son Taimur Ali Khan, who's often seen accompanying his father at every function that he goes. But here at this particular spot, the doctors say that if it would have been just a 2 more millimeters, the knife, the pointed knife, it would have been inside his spine. The injury could have been worse, and pointing that the doctor said that currently he is doing well and has been shifted from the ICU to the special room that has been arranged for him. But also at the same time, the Mumbai police as well as the crime branch unit is trying to focus on the accused, because as we know, the accused was carrying a bag, and in the CCTV that is being surfaced, it can be clearly pointed that he has a bag which might carry weapons, one of which has been discovered from Saif Ali Khan's spine. But here now Mumbai police has clarified that no detention has been made officially so far. However, the Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde stated but later clarified that no such arrests have been made, though the Mumbai police and the crime branch is trying to get their hands on to this particular person, and also one of the workers who used to work with the other maids and person who used to work at Saif Ali Khan's residence. He was under the scanner, and yesterday one of the house help was questioned for more than 24 hours to find out his connection in this entire case, as well as the statement of Eli Amma has also been recorded, who happens to be the maid of one of the children of Saif Ali Khan and Kareena Kapoor Khan. The family is with Saif Ali Khan present at the residence, but definitely looking at the troubling situation of security and law and order in currently in Bandra, which is a big zone where celebrities reside, and big bureaucrats and businessmen too have their properties and offices here in Bandra West. So of course a big one for the Mumbai police to find out who exactly was the accused, and accordingly action should be taken, because it was Saif Ali Khan's residence, the quadruplex that is owned by the couple, and henceforth it becomes even more important to get their hands on the particular accused in the case.
Right, 20 teams have been deployed in order to find that intruder, the suspect that you see on your screens. First, the visuals showing that how he'd entered the building, how he'd exited the building using the fire escape, managing not just to basically get inside and hide for an hour and a half before that scuffle that broke out. It was Saif Ali Khan, along with the help of his nanny, that managed to lock him inside a room and move the rest of the family and the family members upstairs to another floor. But he did again somehow manage to escape. Well, let's just get you more news now, and this is in regard to Kangana Ranaut's film Emergency that released today. It is the SGPC's protest against the film. Do remember that members of the SGPC were demanding that the film be banned in the state of Punjab. So they started to protest against the screening outside various cinema halls, and this protest that took place outside cinema halls in various parts of Punjab, whether it was Ludhiana, Patiala or Amritsar. And it is the actor who's reacted to that by saying that her movie is not being allowed to release, and that this really is the harassment of art and artists.
So we have seen a lot of resentment against this movie Emergency, and we have seen a lot of protests are happening in various locations of Punjab. So in Mohali, what is the situation, and whether there is some protest is happening or not?
Basically, there were few people who came around the malls, shopping malls like Mohali Walk and CP67 and Bestech. So they have gone back by showing their protest, and situation is very peaceful.
So we have seen even the SGPC, they have written a letter to the Chief Minister saying that this movie should be banned. On the ground, are you finding some type of sentiments from the Sikh community?
This is not my prerogative to answer this question, but still the people who came, they have done their peaceful protest and gone back.
And Kangana Ranaut there coming out saying she has utmost respect for all religions, and after studying and growing up in Chandigarh, she's closely observed and followed the Sikh religion, and this is a complete lie and propaganda in order to tarnish her image and harm her film Emergency that released today. So we will keep tracking the story. For now, we're just slipping into a very short break.
What's wrong with the car? It's okay, lads. I'm with the AA. Ah,
Bombay mix.
Because the AA has more expert patrols across the country, you'll be back on the road in no time. No wonder more people choose the AA. Join today.
What they don't tell you about getting older is how much fun it can be. Enjoying all the things you've worked so hard for. Spending time with the people that really matter. Not to mention, finally finding that precious time for yourself. I don't want anything taking my best years away from me, but like so many people, I've seen the heartbreak that dementia can cause. That's why I'm asking everyone to order this essential free guide from Alzheimer's Research UK. It's called Your Brain Matters. We all know what's good for our heart and our lungs, but do you know how to keep your brain healthy too? Well, this guide tells you how, in 7 steps you can start taking right now, whatever your age. Just ring the number on screen to get your free copy. Inside you'll find facts and tips that can keep your brain healthy and help reduce your risk of developing dementia. It's advice you can really trust from leading dementia scientists. Read it, keep it, and check back whenever you need to. Order your free copy now. Call Alzheimer's Research UK on 0800 035 5984 or text BRAIN2 to 78866. Think of it as another way of planning for your best years, because your brain really matters.
This EE winter sale, get the amazing Google Pixel 9 Pro and save a huge £623. Plus, get unlimited data. Then kickstart your year with Gemini Live, the ultimate assistant in your pocket. From practicing interview questions to planning trips away. Just go live to talk things out with Gemini. All on the UK's best network. No wonder tech lovers choose EE. Offer ends 30th of January.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
Now we move on to the next category, which is the Youth Icon of the Year. And for this, मैं एक बार फिर से request करूँगी आशा पारेख जी का स्टेज पर आने के लिए, और साथ ही इनवाइट करेंगे मयंक अग्रवाल जी को, CEO Gallant Group of Industries, to join us on stage for this next category of awards.
Ananya Pandey.
Congratulations, Ananya. And Ananya Pandey, actor, is getting this award for her advocacy work on combating cyberbullying, growing achievements in the film industry, and strong influence on social media. And that's what makes Ananya Pandey NDTV Youth Icon of the Year 2024. She represents a blend of modern values, relatability, and a commitment to meaningful causes, which are essential qualities for inspiring today's youth.
Congratulations, very many congratulations.
Thank you.
And Ananya, there are just a few questions for
Yes.
you. You've, diverse characters, and you've made a shift from big screen to OTT. Big superstars have done their shift. What is your, opinion on that, and what's your next move?
Firstly, I just want to thank NDTV for this award. It's truly very, very humbling, and to get it from Asha Parekh ji, I'm such a big fan of your work, so this is a pinch me moment for sure. I don't believe any screen is too big or small. It's a screen at the end of the day, and the world is developing so fast. There's so many changes that are being made, so I think we're all just keeping up with the times.
Ananya, the fact is that 2024, this year has been phenomenal for you. One success after another. Kahan Kho Gaye Hum, Call Me Bay, CTRL. How does it feel to have multiple successes in one single year?
It's really a dream come true. I really think this year for me, more than ever, I felt very connected to my fans with Kho Gaye Hum Kahan and Call Me Bay and Control. I've done movies in the past, but this is the first time that I felt true love from the audience. And, all these films and shows have been conversation starters. People have not just come up to me and said that they like my work, but how my work has kind of made them feel seen or represented on screen. And for an actor, I think that's a huge victory for me.
So Asha ji is here on stage, and sometimes back मैंने आपसे ये पूछा था कि आज के दौर में स्टारडम कैसे हैंडल करना है, तो अनन्या आपके साथ हैं जो स्टारडम को एक अलग तरीके से हैंडल कर रही हैं. कुछ एडवाइस अनन्या के लिए, या अनन्या आपको आशा जी से कुछ पूछना है?
जी, आप प्लीज़ बताइए, आप मुझे एडवाइस दीजिए प्लीज़.
क्या बताऊं?
कुछ भी, आप कुछ भी बताइए, मैं ले लूँगी.
Sincerity, hard work takes you in a long way. That's what I...
Let's get you the very latest. This is in regard to the US Consulate, which has finally opened in Bengaluru. It was inaugurated by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, as well as US Ambassador Eric Garcetti and Karnataka's Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar. But it has sparked a fresh political dispute in Karnataka, with the Congress there criticizing the BJP for spreading misinformation. It's Priyank Kharge who's gone on to slam BJP MPs for misleading citizens, as he says the consulate will only be servicing Americans and businesses. It'll take a while before you can start processing visa from here, is what he said, because for now the consulate is in a temporary location. It is at the JW Marriott Hotel and is functioning only with limited staff. Let's listen into what D.K. Shivkumar had to say.
The opening of the US Consulate in Bengaluru signifies the further deepening of the ties between Bengaluru and the United States, and the importance of Bengaluru and its global standing. From almost a few decades, this was a very just demand of people of Bengaluru that we need to have a US consulate here. This finally has fruitified. I would like to thank, on behalf of people of Bengaluru, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and our External Affairs Minister Jaishankar.
This is a good beginning. We were trying this from the last 22 years. Myself and Krishnaji also, we had a meeting on this occasion those days. And when Krishnaji also was the External Affairs, he also tried his best, but it could not happen. But various things came in the middle. But still today is very important for us. I would like to congratulate the US Consulate and US Ambassador for taking up this bold decision, and the Government of India also.
It's just a site dedication ceremony. They haven't even zeroed in on the exact site for where the full-fledged consulate would come up. So for the moment, this is a symbolic move, a reassertion of Bengaluru's importance. And you've got, till there is a proper full-fledged consulate, I think the work will happen out of Bengaluru, more on a symbolic level in terms of reiterating it. Obviously a big event for the city. It started with Tejasvi Surya meeting the External Affairs Minister and sending out a tweet. And then Priyank Kharge turning around and saying that, look, don't try and take credit for this. Don't take, one party should not take credit for it. It's something for Bengaluru and the people of Bengaluru. So a bit of a political slugfest, obviously. DK Shivkumar as well stepping in, as you see there on your screens. He was there at that ceremony at JW Marriott. Then, of course, making his comments as well on that issue. So it will be interesting, but ultimately, remember, this city, obviously as a global hub, has enormous amount of expats and US citizens living here. And it has been a long pending demand. Remember, several other consulates from European countries like the British, French, German, Dutch, are all there, including Japan. Several other consulates, even Australian consulate, works out of Bengaluru. But the US was, there was a constant demand for a US representation in this city. Obviously, there'll be no visa services at the moment. That will begin only when they have a final structure to their consular services here.
Thank you so much, Veera, for getting us all those details. And fresh trouble for Imran Khan, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, has been sentenced to 14 years of imprisonment, while his wife, Bushra Bibi, is sentenced to 7 years in prison after finding them guilty of corruption in a case that involves £190 million. This is the trust case, where we do know that Imran Khan is already, of course, he has been in jail, but it is his wife who was arrested from the court itself. So today's verdict has tarnished the reputation of the judiciary in Pakistan. This is what Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has gone on to say. In fact, so he is now going to be serving a sentence of 14 years, while his wife has been taken into custody and she has also been found guilty of the same, while her sentence is to the tune of 7 years. Getting into some sports news now, and the Board of Control for Cricket, the BCCI, has introduced a 10-point disciplinary guideline policy in order to boost the team's discipline and improve the performance of the players. This new policy includes some significant changes, such as mandatory domestic cricket that will be mandatory for players, also a no endorsement while they're on tour, and also restriction when it comes to the family that usually accompanies the players. To get to know more on this, we have Osama joining us. Osama, a lot of changes that are being made by the BCCI. Take us through what all does this entail?
Well, as you rightly mentioned, Divya, the 10-point guideline that has been implemented by the BCCI, it is in order to instill a sense of discipline within the team, which, according to the BCCI, has lacked in the past couple of series. And some of the key points, of course, this is a 10-point guideline, but the four most important points in this particular guidelines is, number one, mandatory participation in domestic cricket. Now, this is something that a lot of the senior players, they have been criticized for not being available for Ranji Trophy or for other domestic tournaments, including the likes of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. And there have been a lot of conversation around how they should be playing more test cricket and more domestic cricket in order to improve their game for the longer format. India, remember, lost against New Zealand. It was a wipeout, 3-0 loss against New Zealand at home. And then the loss in Australia in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. So that is something that the BCCI is very keenly and very strictly looking at. The other important point that the BCCI has mentioned in that letter is the presence of family members during tours. Now, the BCCI says that they are going to limit the duration of the family's stay with the team. Earlier, the family would travel with the team members and they would stay for the entirety of the tournament or the entirety of the tour or the series. But now that time period has been limited to just 14 days. Again, another important point that's mentioned on in that letter is ban on endorsements. Now, if at all any player has to endorse or go out for a shoot apart from BCCI's, he will have to take permission from the BCCI, and there will be repercussions if at all these players do not comply with all these 10 guidelines.
Right, violators, in fact, may just face an IPL ban, amongst other things. Thank you so much, Osama, for joining us with all those details. But that was leaving a short break. Back with a whole lot more.
This baby bear is terrified, torn from her mother's paws at a tender age. They will force her to live alone in a tiny, filthy cage, like so many bears driven mad by loneliness, rubbing their wounds raw against the bars, suffering cruelly day after day, year after year, just for people's entertainment. Four Paws found little Potap crammed into a tiny, squalid cage. He'd been there for almost 9 years, lonely and isolated. There are so many more young bears who need your help. Please call 0800 038 0455 or text CUB3 to 78866 and give £2 a month to help rescue them. Every month, your £2 could help us free more bears, help give bears the veterinary care they need, and help them live happy, healthy lives in the freedom of our natural sanctuaries. Call 0800 038 0455 or text CUB3 to 78866 and give £2 a month and help Four Paws free bears from agonizing torture. Please, don't leave these bears to suffer for a single day more.
What's wrong with the car?
It's okay, lads. I'm with the AA. Bombay mix.
Because the AA has more expert patrols across the country, you'll be back on the road in no time. No wonder more people choose the AA. Join today.
If you're homeless, you're never safe.
Tonight, too many young people like Kira will be at risk, right here on our streets.